Hi. I wanted to talk about my field trip this weekend. Not only did I go to the York Holistic Expo, Sunday I went to the Open Library Day at the William Blake OTO Lodge, basically, in Baltimore. Uh, why? Because, I love libraries. I really do. And any opportunity to kind of dive in headfirst into an esoteric library, I'm all in. I'm all in. The only stepping stone was that it was in the city, and anyone who knows me knows I don't like the city. In fact, I had people ask me, they're like, "You're really going to the city? Like, you're going to the city for books?" Yeah, me. Yeah, that's me. And probably the only thing that could have gotten me into the city. It wasn't that bad. I wasn't in the ghetto. It was fun. It was a really nice building. It was a very really cool building, actually, except that the elevator didn't work, and they're on the fifth floor. So that was a very hot, long walk, and all I could think of while I was going up these stairs was Big Bang Theory, because the elevators broke and they have to walk up all the flights of steps, and I was like, this is hysterical. Um, I had spoken to the gracious, I don't know her specific name, but she is in charge of the lodge. Stephanie, I don't know her title, but it's a big fancy title. And actually, when I went, there were two Stephanies there. The one that runs this lodge and the one that runs the lodge up in New York, which is really cool. And I asked them because I had assumed honestly that it was still kind of a guys' club. William Blake Lodge, very thelemic, Aleister Crowley, magic, hardcore stuff. She was like, actually, no, there's a lot more women in leadership positions, and it's made a lot of difference. And I was like, that's really amazing. That's really cool. Tell me more. So she told me about what their group kind of does. They do, the basic celebrations, the thelemic stuff. They do study groups. Obviously, if you want to get initiated into being a specific student of that school, they do that as well. They do weekly lessons. Right now they're doing the Tree of Life, which was really interesting. It coincides with their upcoming cruise, which has 22 bars. So they're planning an awesome scavenger hunt around that, and that was really cool. Something fun, something different, right? Not so serious. We talked about what did we talk about? A few of the upcoming rites. They had just done initiations, which was a very exciting time for students, obviously. Very pomp and circumstance. So that was neat to hear about the day after. They were still tidying up stuff. So it must have been a really great party. That's all I'm saying. Now people are gonna assume when I say magic with a K that it's very Wiccan. This is not Wiccan at all. This is Aleister Crowley. This is William Blake. This is William Blake. It's not in the forest, in the woods. No, this is, I don't want to say nicer, different. This is certainly different. They abide by a very different set of rules. Yeah, that's the way to say that. Yeah, we'll put it like that. But it was really interesting to have the open library day, because me and books is bookshelves and bookshelves of books, and I'm like, So I grabbed the few books as we were talking, and I went back and forth because I was looking for something specific. I had no idea what I was looking for, but I knew that there was something specific that I needed to find, because I've been looking for quite some time. Now, if anyone who's ever been pushed by a spirit guide or a guide, or just some sort of oomph that tells you need to be somewhere at a certain time to find something, then you know what I'm talking about. I found the book, and I'd been looking for a while. Obviously, unfortunately, and I knew, obviously, this is a book that you can't find at Barnes & Noble. This is a book that you're probably be able to find on Amazon, I'm hoping, because I actually want a copy of the book. But it was a book about Hecate, and the history, the meanings, all sorts of really, really good information that you can't find anywhere else. This was specifically written by someone who had taken their life to study this. And I'm gonna write a book. I am. So that's really going to be the foundation of where I start from there. I really love that the ladies were open to answering any and every question that I had. They were knowledgeable, which is great. Obviously, you want to see, depending on your degree of initiation. But obviously, if you're in charge of the lodge, you should know certain things. And they were both extremely knowledgeable. And we had a great time talking about all sorts of things, including sex magic, which is hysterical. They actually had to put an anti-sexual harassment thing into the the thing you sign to become a student initiate. And I was surprised because I thought of all the forward thinkers, and she said there are just still guys who think that they should be able to have whatever they want without working towards it. She's like, and we want this to be a safe space for everybody to be able to participate and learn and do stuff. So that actually that got a really big laugh out of me. That made me happy to think that they were thinking about these things and wanted to protect their people. I like that a lot. I probably will be a guest again. I'm not interested in being a student initiate. I'm very fascinated by it. I really like that they have particular lessons that they work on the change, obviously, the cycle. I like that she actually even recommended a different type of lodge, the AA Lodge, not Alcoholics Anonymous, just a different branch of the William Blake and Aleister Crowley stuff. And she was like, they are extremely regimented. She's like, so if you're into that, and I'm like, I'm not, but it's really interesting to know that in case anybody else wants to know that. So I'm telling you. And she was like, and we work together really well. There's no animosity. There's no politics. She's like, we just really want people to find, their truth and grow in their knowledge and bring everything back full circle, really. And that's what you want to hear from any organization. And I told her that I hadn't joined any group because I was concerned about the bickering, the arguing. You get a bunch of women together and that stuff happens. Men or no, that stuff happens. So it was really cool to see that kind of forward momentum versus like it used to specifically be about money and power. It was very much a boys' club, filled with politics, money and power. Now, obviously, it's gone back to its roots, per se, and is growing bigger because of it. So I'm very excited to see what they're doing in the future, and I will follow them and hope to get to more open library days because I love their library. I would love to take their library home. I'm sure I could have shoved a few books up my dress, but I wasn't going there. Down 5 flights of steps. Yeah, I'm sure I would. I'm sure they would have caught me with that. But I found this really cool book, and I'm gonna see if I can order it. And I'd been thinking about writing a book for a long time, and I really hadn't found a good subject, and this is the perfect subject for me. Perfect. So I'll keep you posted about that. But I want to invite you to search for different paths, to talk to different people. Obviously, talking to the Mormons is different than talking to the Thelemic magicians. It just is. However, really, they're all very nice, very informative. No, neither of them have ever pressured me to join their specific religion or church, and that's awesome. Yeah, I really had a wonderful day. I really did. And I dressed up. My spirit guide harassed me, like hardcore harassed me. And she very rarely does that. And that meant one of two things to me. That I was going to hurt myself and have to be rescued by the paramedics, because the first thing she said to me was, you should probably wear matching underwear. I'm like, oh man, am I going to get into a car accident? Am I going to break down? Oh my God. Someone going to try and rob me because I didn't get my sparring in today. So I totally kicked butt. And she was like, no, you're going to a church. You're going to a sacred place of worship. You have to look decent. And I'm like, but I'm not going for a service. And she was like, don't do this to me. She was like, don't embarrass me. I was like, all right, fine. So I got told by my spirit guide, I put on a dress and makeup for 2 women. My mom was like, that's a date dress. I'm like, that's the only thing I have close to a church dress. So I wore it. It was very pretty. I really liked it. So if I ever get a date, I know I'm wearing that dress. There you go. All right, I love you guys. If you have any questions about how I found that contact information, or you would like me to help you contact a specific group, I would be happy to help. Thankfully, in our area at least, everybody works together and is very nice to each other, which is super cool. I mean, there are a few covens that are iffy. Yeah, I'll warn you about that too. Just message me, all right? I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.